India and China, two Asian giants, share a history as old as civilization itself. Their relationship is a complex tapestry, woven with threads of cooperation, competition, and conflict. Geography binds them together, with a shared border stretching over 3,400 kilometers. However, this very border has been a source of tension and mistrust for decades. The legacy of the 1962 Sino-Indian War continues to cast a long shadow, shaping their interactions in the 21st century. Despite lingering suspicions, both nations recognize the need for a stable relationship. They engage in diplomatic dialogue and participate in multilateral forums like the BRICS Group. However, the underlying strategic rivalry remains a defining feature of their engagement. Both India and China harbor ambitions for regional and global leadership. They compete for influence in South Asia and beyond, creating a delicate dance of power dynamics. The recent past has witnessed a surge in tensions, particularly following the 2020 Galwan Valley clash. This violent confrontation resulted in casualties on both sides, sending shockwaves through the international community. It underscored the fragility of peace along the line of actual control and highlighted the potential for miscalculation and escalation. The incident served as a wake-up call for both nations, prompting a renewed focus on border management and confidence-building measures. India and China are at a crossroads. They must navigate their relationship with pragmatism and a long-term vision. The world watches closely as these two influential powers seek to define the terms of their engagement in an increasingly interconnected and uncertain global landscape. The future trajectory of their relationship will have profound implications for Asia and the international order as a whole. The 1962 Sino-Indian War was a watershed moment in the history of India-China relations. It left an enduring legacy of mistrust and suspicion that continues to shape their interactions today. The war, sparked by border disputes and strategic miscalculations, resulted in a humiliating defeat for India. This outcome had a profound impact on India's psyche and its foreign policy outlook. India's then Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru had pursued a policy of non-alignment and peaceful coexistence. He believed in resolving differences through dialogue and diplomacy. However, the 1962 war shattered this idealism. India's defeat was attributed in part to Nehru's reluctance to fully utilize the Indian military, fearing a wider conflict. This decision had lasting consequences, leading to a significant military buildup in the aftermath of the war. The 1962 war also cemented China's image as a potential security threat in the minds of Indian policymakers. It fueled a deep-seated mistrust that has been difficult to overcome. Even as India and China have engaged in diplomatic efforts to normalize relations, the memory of the war continues to linger in the background. The unresolved border disputes, a key factor in the 1962 conflict, remain a source of tension. Both sides have differing perceptions of the line of actual control, leading to frequent standoffs and military buildups along the border. These incidents serve as a constant reminder of the fragile nature of peace and the potential for escalation. Beyond the shadow of the 1962 war, India and China find themselves locked in a complex web of economic and strategic competition. The rise of China as a global economic powerhouse has coincided with India's own ambitions for accelerated growth and development. This has led to a situation where both countries are vying for resources, markets, and influence on the world stage. Economically, India and China are deeply intertwined. China is one of India's largest trading partners, supplying a wide range of goods from consumer electronics to industrial machinery. This economic interdependence, however, is also a source of vulnerability for India. Indian businesses are increasingly concerned about their dependence on Chinese imports and the trade deficit that has ballooned in recent years. Strategically, India and China are engaged in a delicate balancing act. Both nations are nuclear-armed and possess significant military capabilities. China's rapid military modernization and assertive posture in the Indo-Pacific region have raised concerns in New Delhi. India, in response, has sought to strengthen its own military capabilities and forge closer defense partnerships with countries like the United States, Japan, and Australia. The competition between India and China extends beyond the economic and military spheres. Both countries see themselves as civilizational states with a rich history and cultural heritage. They aspire to be leading voices in global affairs and are actively shaping the regional and international order. This competition for soft power and influence is playing out in various domains, from international organizations to cultural exchanges. The future of India-China relations remains uncertain, poised between the potential for both cooperation and conflict. The two Asian giants face a choice: to allow historical baggage and strategic rivalry to dictate their interactions, or to find common ground and build a more stable and prosperous future for the region. Diplomatic engagement remains crucial for managing differences and preventing misunderstandings from escalating into conflict. Regular high-level dialogues, confidence-building measures along the border, and cooperation in areas of shared interest such as climate change and counter-terrorism can help foster a more conducive environment for a stable relationship. However, navigating the complexities of the relationship requires both sides to acknowledge and address each other's legitimate concerns. For India, this includes addressing the trade deficit, China's assertive military posture in the region, and its support for Pakistan. For China, it involves recognizing India's sensitivities regarding the border dispute, its growing strategic partnerships with other countries, and its ambitions for a greater role in global affairs. The world is watching closely as India and China, two of the most populous and dynamic nations, chart their course in the 21st century. Their choices will have profound implications not only for their own people, but for the future of Asia and the international order as a whole.